By this summer, I think you probably knew that marijuana is going to be legal in Canada. We excited about that? Yeah, so the police will be able to check our saliva for cannabis, but only if they have a thing called reasonable suspicion. So we got to look forward to a totally new kind of check stop. The cop just reaches in your car window with an enormous bag of Doritos. Cracks them open and checks you for drool. I was at a reunion recently and a classmate told me something I've literally never heard before. He said, "You look good, Fred." And then he said, "You look surprisingly good." And he pointed out that the Alumni magazine has actually listed me as deceased. We both got a real kick out of the fact the title of the Alumni magazine is actually In Touch. So I didn't actually die, folks, but like a lot of Calgarians, I must have died a little inside, I think, when I lost my job. Yeah, thanks for that sympathy, I appreciate it. But don't you worry, I won't be unemployed for long. Because like our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, I've got that Bachelor of Arts degree in literature to fall back on, yeah. Can't help thinking that Canada being led by Justin is a bit like the entire country just showed up to a gunfight, armed only with a selfie stick. I've changed my diet, folks, since I lost my job. I'm trying to eat a lot more free-range, locally grown, organic squirrel. You know, squirrel's an acquired taste, I give you that, but you gotta try my flambé d'écureuil écrasé. I guess I should have explained my undergrad's actually in French literature, and that's squished squirrel on fire. Just to wrap up the food segment of the program, a little shout out to those of you who are not actually allergic to gluten, but maybe just avoiding gluten because that's so trendy. You know, gluten-free food is devoid of nutrients, costs extra, and best of all, tastes like shit. So here's the thought, maybe just eat some damn gluten and try to be less of a douche. Thank you. Douchiness matters, folks. Trump starts World War III, cannibalism breaks out. First people eaten, always the most annoying people, the gluten avoiders. And of course our friends the vegans, neither of whom are strong enough to fight back. I don't know if anybody else has trouble with Starbucks ever getting your name wrong. This ever happen? Yeah. So my name's got 4 letters, F-R-E-D. I'm watching barista Brittany concentrate a little harder than you'd expect as she scrawls on the cup. So then a couple of minutes later, barista Michaela calls out, "Tall mocha ready for," and she squints at the cup and she says, "Sorry, sir, is it Fred or fired?" She shows me the cup, it says F-I-R-E-D. I said, "You know what, Michaela, if I'm honest, it's both. Fred and fired. But I'm at peace with it now. Listen, I don't suppose you got any job openings here because I've got a Bachelor of Arts in Literature and I'm great at spelling." You know, my folks, my kids refuse to eat squirrel 7 nights a week. So I've been looking for a cheap squirrel substitute. Fortunately, the IGA has got a new fish called tilapia. Went out and bought some tilapia, brought it home, made a nice tilapia lunch before we headed out to the zoo. We got to the hippo tank. I don't know if you've ever been, but there's this school of fish circling around the hippo that apparently help keep the tank clean by consuming a lot of the hippo excrement. So sensing a teachable moment, as all good parents do, I turned to the zookeeper and said, "Sir, could you mind just telling us the name of that helpful shit-eating fish you got in the tank there?" And the zookeeper said, "Oh, that'd be tilapia, sir." And folks, that's the last time anybody in our house ever ate tilapia. I guess that's less of a joke, folks, than a public service announcement. My name's Fred Kerr. I want to thank you all for listening.